Thank you for tuning into today's live stream. Prayer and Share with Ed and Amy will begin soon. Please share this live stream with your friends and family or anyone who may need some fellowship.
Wake up the morning fresh and bright. Ed and Amy lead the light. We gather hearts around the screen for love and hope to intervene. They share the word and spread the cheer. With every story, wipe a tear. Your faith is stronger every day. With Ed and Amy on the way. Prayer and share, it's time to unite. In every whisper and every lie, join hands together, night or day. Ed and Amy show the way.
Thank you for tuning into today's live stream. Prayer and Share with Ed and Amy will begin soon. Please share this live stream with your friends and family or anyone who may need some fellowship.
From life's valleys to the peaks, they bring the strength that everyone seeks, lifting spirits up so high. With Ed and Amy by your side. Every prayer, every care, join in love with hearts so fair. Feel the joy that's in the air. With Ed and Amy we declare, oh, prayer and share, it's time to unite. In every whisper and every lie, join hands together, night or day. Ed and Amy show the way. Every prayer, every care, join in love with hearts so fair. Feel the joy that's in the air. With Ed and Amy, we declare, prayer and share, it's time to unite. In every whisper and every lie, join hands together, night or day. Ed and Amy show the way. The way.
We're all set and ready to go, and we hope you are too. Now let's go live to Ed and Amy Boston for Prayer and Share.
Well, there we are partially. I think if we put ourselves together, I don't have my green screen down low enough, I don't think. So
Oh my, we just look ridiculous.
how about you say hi to everybody and welcome them, and I'll work on lowering the green screen a little.
Well, you can't make this up. Wow. Hi, everybody. It's glad to partially see you.
They can see almost as much as you can of them.
Wow. I mean, yeah, that's a fact. That's fact. Wow.
Are you more visible now?
No, I'm like the invisible woman.
Well,
We are so unprepared.
well, tell them why.
Wow. I'm just like,
Woo!
I'm like on a magic carpet or something now. Man, this is a trip.
Well, tell them why
I
we're.
look okay now. You look not so well, but
I'm looking pretty darn good. I ain't on there. Well, tell them why we're, as not as prepared as we could be.
because we just had an amazing evening with 4 of my amazing children and then spouses and grandkids. But
We're-
just 4 of my kids.
We're kind of there.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of, yeah. But it was a great night.
It was a great night. And Miss Hostess with the Mostess and your friends will know what I'm talking about there.
I had the mostest because my kids are the mostest.
And you gave them 2 choices, and what were they?
I gave them the choice of chicken and noodles and mashed potatoes and the fixins to go with that, or macaroni and cheese with smoked sausage in it. And it was unanimous.
Hold on. Don't. Now, let me reiterate. Her famous, I would say world famous, but it's at least nationally famous
Oh, wow.
chicken and
I
noodles.
don't know about all that.
John loves them, and he's in Texas. So see, it's nationally known.
But it was unanimous.
What did you make?
Mac and cheese with smoked sausage.
And I'm just shaking my head, even though it was very, very, very good. I didn't get a chance to tell you that because they just left shortly ago, but it was very good. I know you don't think I like smoked sausage, but it turned out really good.
Well, they love it. We don't have it because he doesn't like smoked sausage, but they love, that's one of their favorite meals from when they were growing up. And they were really happy about it. So I gave them their choice and that's what they chose. And so it was unanimous across the board. And they were really thrilled. So I'm glad they chose that.
And tell about your cake.
Oh, well, that was an epic fail.
No, epic fail would have been that it looked bad, tastes bad, was terrible, and you threw it in the trash. That would be epic fail.
It probably should have gone in the trash.
No.
I made a chocolate cake with vanilla pudding on it. It was, the Pope cake with the vanilla pudding on top. And then I put caramel drizzle on it. And I was going to go back and, kind of swirl the drizzle. Well, when I went back last night to do that, the caramel was gone. And I'm thinking, where did the caramel go? So I put more caramel drizzle on it and I put it back in the refrigerator. And this morning I got it back out, was going to swirl the caramel, and the caramel was gone. So I put more caramel on it. And when I got it back out of the refrigerator to swirl the drizzle before everybody came over, the caramel was gone. And it looked atrocious. It looked
Now,
disgusting.
I really, really, really tried to pump her up and make her feel good. She's not lying. It did not look good.
It did not. It looked atrocious.
And so she would have just as soon thrown it in the trash.
Oh, absolutely would have. Why are we froze?
I don't know. I hope not. If you would share how your children thought it was.
They loved it. They loved it. Absolutely. There's no cake left.
It was delicious.
There is no
cake. It was delicious. I mean, you guys have been eating her desserts lately. It was what Ronnie was like,
Yeah.
Oh my, this is so good.
Yeah, Robert loved it too.
Yeah, Rob. Yes, they both did.
Yeah, there is no cake left. The pan is empty and in the sink.
And that's not really the best thing because I would have eaten another piece. Would have enjoyed another piece.
Yeah, there is. Now, see, this is something I've never been told ever about my boys. Billatonia said the picture of Ronnie with no beard. Wow, he looks so much like his mama. I have never, ever, ever been told that. Ronnie's 40, and he is nobody has ever said that he looks like his mama. Ever.
Well, he
Now-
hasn't had a clean shaved face.
My girls, that's an everyday thing. My boys, never ever has anybody told me that they look like me. But I will take that. See, Donna said we were froze.
Well, I'm asking if, go ahead and you type in there too, ask if we still are. Because on here, we're not frozen.
Well, we're not on mine either now.
I think maybe we unfroze ourselves. Well, let's start off, and we'll probably go back and forth with, we'll think of things that we've had go on in the last little bit. Let's see. Seems like forever since you've been on here. I guess it was just last Friday though, wasn't it?
I don't know.
If you would, give us some feedback, some help.
Well, I think we're froze again.
It's Roberta says we're not. Trevor says we're not. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, give us some help and feedback. We are having a difficult time getting our Friday prayer and share to not butt up with other things that go on that we don't have any control of. And I hate postponing, I hate canceling, but there are times where we can't do it. And, you know, when we did Tuesday, Thursday, even before Amy's work schedule changed to where she can't do Tuesdays, we were like clockwork. Every once in a while we had to change, or now it seems to happen fairly regular, and we don't like that. And we try to do things with everybody else in mind, and I'm not really sure what to do. Friday just does not seem to be a good fit.
No, it really doesn't.
And I'm not sure if Saturday is the answer, if we would do Saturday nights. Seem like we have more things come up on Friday than we do Saturday. There are some things that we can do. We could like pre-record and then play it as if it's live, and we could be in the chat with you as it goes on, but we wouldn't have to be, in front of a camera.
Right.
So the only thing is that the program that I use, I'm going to have to check. I can just record, but then this program is what ships it out to all the different places. And I don't know if it'll do that with a pre-recorded. So Saturday's good there. Just to help us think about it, I don't think God has told us yet that we need to stop doing prayer and share. I've not heard that. We've made some adjustments, and I think Red, White, and True has come across very well. And I'm looking for my Christmas present. We'll cross brand here a little bit and talk a little bit of Red, White, and True. If you know the history of Red, White, and True, Ronnie, Amy's oldest son, our son, and I started that on election night. We didn't really make plans for anything other than we were going to do something for election night, and she has to work on Tuesdays, and election night's a Tuesday. So Ronnie said he would do it, and that night ended up being an 8-hour live stream till 3 in the morning, 7 o'clock to 3 a.m., 8 hours. This, let's see how well you can see it. There. That is the map of the United States, and it's got red states on it and it's got blue states on it. That is the election map from the 2024 election. Ronnie gave this to me earlier today. We celebrated Christmas on January the 18th. He pointed that out a time or two.
Yeah, just a couple times. Being the clown that he is.
He said, I thought how appropriate to get you something that is a direct result of the very first night that we did Prayer and Share.
Oh, he's right.
And
no, did Red, White, and True.
Yes, Red, White, and True. My bad. I know that several of you are in here and enjoy Red, White, and True. Several of you may know that we were going to get together this week and talk all things Red, White, and True with the two of us, Ronnie and I. Not been able to do that yet. We've got plans again to try to do that tomorrow afternoon, evening, if not then Monday, so that we can have that discussion before Tuesday's episode. And I told people tonight, I didn't get a lot of Christmas gifts, but man, I got some really cool Christmas gifts. And I wish we had a camera that you could control, you could spin it and stuff, because my very favorite Christmas gift is right over there on the wall. And that's the picture of Jesus looking at it like a nest. And in that nest is a beautiful red cardinal. And you might say, isn't that kind of saying the same things twice? And that is not the case, because there are other colors of cardinals. They're not all red.
Right.
I've seen yellow. I've seen basically albino looking, total white cardinal. And so I wish I could turn that around, because it's now in the sanctuary and
looks pretty good up
looks
there.
pretty good.
Looks pretty good.
You can't see because we've got a live backdrop or a video backdrop. If you could see, our Christmas tree is still up over here. Don't tell nobody, because, well, we used the excuse that we had this Christmas gathering today.
It wasn't an excuse. It was there for a reason, because we still had Christmas.
That's it. But it's still back there looking beautiful. And we got something really sad to talk about. Really, really sad. Michael Tate is leaving the Newsboys. Michael Tate, Uncle Chocolate.
Uncle Chocolate
announced this week that he is leaving the Newsboys. It seems to be an amicable split. They don't seem to be on bad terms. But I've been a Newsboys fan at least 20 years. At least 20 years. So that was in the old Newsboys days where Peter Furler and Phil Joel were both part of the Newsboys. Those two announced that they were leaving the group, and that's when Michael Tate came in. And that was 15 years ago. Michael Tate gained his early fame with a group called DC Talk. DC Talk's probably most famous song was Jesus Freak.
And it's amazing.
If you don't like, I mean, it's loud and it's heavy beat and stuff. You know, you can bounce your head but it's really an amazing song. So they had disbanded DC Talk, and Michael Tate took on the role of lead singer of the Newsboys. At first, I didn't know. I mean, I knew of Michael Tate. I didn't know if it'd be a good fit. It became a great fit. And personally, I like new Newsboys, which would be the Michael Tate version, better than the old Newsboys, which is saying a lot because they were my favorite group before Michael Tate joined. My very favorite time was when Newsboys United worked together because Furler and Joel came back, Tate was there, and they all toured for about a year and a half as Newsboys United.
And they were amazing.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They were phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And so I was slow on getting the news. My cousin John messaged me one day this week and included the message. And let me just go ahead and read what he had to say, he being Michael Tate. Where did it go?
I think you confused your computer.
I think I did. We're over here. So anyway, try not to do that again. Let's look up this way. There. Newsboys official site.
You can read that?
I can, but that's the second part. We'll just forget what it says. One of those where everything you click is not what you really thought it was going to be. Yeah, let's just go back over here. Whew. Maybe it just didn't want me. Maybe it didn't want me to cry
Evidently.
live on live stream because I was in the other part of the house yesterday. I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before. And that's when I read what my cousin had sent me. And I came through here and I told Amy, you're not going to believe, but Michael Tate is leaving the Newsboys. And I didn't cry, but I almost cried.
The way he was acting, I thought he was dead. I thought he was talking about Michael. He said, you're not going to believe this, but Michael Tate, and I thought he was going to say was dead. And he said, is leaving the Newsboys. And I'm like.
So I actually, today we had a little bit of a talk about that. I said, it's kind of bad that affected me so much because even though it is a Christian music, it's still of the world. You see what I'm saying? It's not part of the plan of salvation that you have to listen to the Newsboys. So, but you know, we all have favorites and things. In fact, most people have a favorite singer or a favorite actor, favorite St. Louis baseball team. You know, we have our favorites, and we're human, and we get disappointed. And the good news is that
Oh, absolutely.
The good news is that the Newsboys will continue. This past year, they added a fifth newsboy, Tommy Agee, and he actually had been parts of groups in the past. I think he was the lead singer for Audio Adrenaline at one point. We saw him as an opening act for the Newsboys a few years ago.
Absolutely.
And so, but they haven't announced how they're going to fill the position. Some people speculate it's going to be Tommy Agee. Some people speculate that they may have different lead singers, you know, kind of a revolving door. I don't think that's what it's going to be. I think it's probably going to either be Tommy Agee or maybe Peter Furler might come back, the old lead singer.
Well, that would be a shame.
Well, I love Peter Furler. You know, to me, Michael Tate, Peter Furler, I love them both, and they're both great. So we have that. We have that.
Well, nothing's bringing me down.
No,
I had a great night.
She was a proud mama tonight.
I had a great night.
4 out of 5 of her children. And there's no way for us to be able to contact the fifth one. And we won't dwell on that because that would not be something that would make Amy smile.
No.
But there is one of her daughters that we haven't seen for a couple of years, and she was here tonight. And I didn't think Amy was going to let go of her when they hugged to say goodbye. And her daughter promised that it would not be as long as it has been.
Yep.
So that was a good thing. That was a good thing.
And everybody had such a good time. And they always do when they're all together. They always have a good time.
When they're together, it's like you would think they'd spend every weekend together, or
right,
you know, get together on a regular basis, and they start talking about things like it had never stopped.
There's never been a time that they weren't together.
And
I mean, they talk about old times and things and there's never like ever a gap or a space between the times.
That's accurate. And
they talk about languages you just don't understand.
Oh my goodness. So I don't know if we've ever explained this, but the Bilthouse clan has a language of their own. Now that isn't I don't even know how to describe it. All I know is a couple of days ago, we were driving past Steak and Shake going to Amy's eye doctor appointment. That would have been Friday. And Robert works at Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake. And what did you say to me?
I said, I wonder if Rob Chishouse is working.
And go ahead and say it again a little slower.
I said, Rob Chishouse.
And I said, what's that?
And I said, Rob, Chiz House, Chiz. And he said, what? And I said, that's what we always used to call him, Rob, Chiz House, Chiz.
I said, oh, it's that. It's that language that you only understand if your name is Built House. Did they get it from, I mean, it's like long-term Built House, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
all the way back to Transylvania or wherever, right?
Transylvania.
Well, something like that. So, yeah, they have their own language.
So Ronnie walks in tonight, and I said, Ronnie, tell Ed what we called Robert. And he said, what? Rob, Chiz House, Chiz. And Ed's just like rolls his eyes. Said, yeah, that's it.
Now, I understand that families have things that just they do. They have their own language and they understand it.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't understand it. I definitely don't understand it, and I've heard it. But they understand what they're talking about.
All the time. And we can carry on a full conversation and understand each other.
And I'd be sitting there. They're pretty nice about it. They don't go into it
No.
long, drawn out diatribe or anything like that. But
But we could.
yeah, but they could. And I just kind of shake my head. Yes, I do.
It's kind of funny at times because he just is like, okay, he just gives up.
Let me share this. I think I can share it. You can kind of lead us into this by saying what we had talked about and what we wrote down while we were gone
Well, we were gone where?
on vacation. You've seen what I just had up, right?
Yeah.
You can explain.
Well, we've been saying for a long, long time that we were going to do a segment on Prayer and Share or
Its own.
its own segment. And someone never does that.
Just hadn't gotten around to it.
You know, those little wooden things that are round to it. But so when we were on vacation, I think we were coming back, weren't we?
Yes.
And we were trying to come up with multiple things that had happened during vacation that were, you couldn't make this stuff up. And so we came up with multiple things that you can't make this up.
And we at first could only think of like 3. We had talked the whole time. Oh man, you can't make this up. Oh man, you can't make that up. Like multiple times every day.
Yeah.
And then we went to, she's driving, I'm going to type it into the phone. And we thought of 3. And then 5.
And the whole time we're like, we knew we should have wrote that down to begin with because we wouldn't remember it. Because the next thing was so dumb that we couldn't make that one up either. And we wouldn't remember that one because the next one was so dumb.
Well, there was Trevor made this for us. And there was a reason he did that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. He knew nothing about, he's just finding out now because I've not told him this. He knew nothing about us talking on our vacation and coming back and saying, oh, we've got to share all of this. You can't make this stuff up. Let me find real quick. Well, tell him something that happened when we were gone. Go ahead, like when we were in Daytona and the number of police cars that we've seen.
Oh, goodness. The first night that we were there and we went to eat, there was at least 9 different places, at least 9 different places from the resort we stayed to the restaurant that we got to, that we saw. And it wasn't just one police officer or police car. There were multiple police cars at each one of the incidents. And there were at least 9 of the incidents that we'd seen where people had been, you know, they were either pulled over where they were at a red light, or it was in a housing complex, or.
Well, the one stoplight, there was like 4 cars, and you could see the officers like converging on a building. You know, they obviously weren't trying to totally be inconspicuous, because you could see their reflective vests that they were wearing.
Right.
But I mean, because you could see their reflective vests, you could tell they're like converging on this place. And so we had said on the way, well, maybe we'll get to see something from
PD Live.
On Patrol Live.
Oh, I'm sorry. On Patrol Live. We did find where they filmed out of, where their like central location was, and it wasn't very far from the resort that we stayed at.
No.
And that's where they were located, and they would leave from on the Friday or Saturdays that they did their filming. That was like their home base. And
but we couldn't find. They must have all been out,
right,
busy the night.
Because they always are busy. I mean, always.
So you can't see this very well. I didn't have this blown up. I wasn't even planning on showing it. It's not a big thing.
Oops.
If you remember earlier this week, a couple of days ago, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that because
you can't see any of it.
You can't tell. I'll read it off to you. But Joe Biden gave his farewell address, and I posted on X, it's going to take me a minute to digest and address the Joe Biden disaster tour message. Holy cow. And so Trevor saw that, and that's where he come up with the, you can't make this stuff. You know, he was talking about, you can't make this stuff up that Joe Biden just said, you know, the things he took credit for, and oh my goodness. So that'll probably be a segment Tuesday on Red, White, and True. But we have got multiple you can't make this stuff up things to be doing. And I know I've said this line many times. I've just got to do it on the you can't make this stuff up. And we had this discussion not too long ago as well. There's stuff that I have saved that says you can't make this up. That's just like, that ain't. I've been saving them long enough that, well, that ain't so bad.
Yeah. That sounds mild compared to some of the stuff. Because some of it's just like, oh my goodness. But some of it's really like the guy eating the mac and cheese out of his beard. Man, you don't want to make that stuff up, because that's a nightmare.
Well, I haven't seen Mary in here tonight. Beth, good to see you. Was you able to get out of your driveway? She must be watching on something that you can't see.
Maybe. She must be on your page, because I'm on Prayer and Share.
Okay. And I got it all right here. Yeah, Mary, she kind of gags when we mention this guy.
Well, I don't blame you. You should have been there live.
Yeah, you should have seen it.
Oh, my heavens.
Yeah, it wasn't no question on whether it was live or Memorex. It was
all live.
It was live.
And let me tell you, my heavens.
Beth said yes. That's good.
Yes, yes to what?
Driveway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know we talked about it already. We talked about it while we were still in Florida, but you have to understand a little bit of something about Amy and I. When it's just the two of us alone,
What does that mean?
we we have a really good time people watching.
Oh yeah, we yeah.
Whether it be on television, whether it be eating at Golden Corral.
Yeah, we are definitely people watchers.
And I don't know if it's because we intentionally are people watchers or if we just attract weirdos.
Well, I know I do. But did I not tell you from
did.
jump?
Right? We were probably the first week we knew each other, but at least very, very early on in our relationship, she says that, oh, they just laughed. Is it live or is it Memorex? I was thinking
it
as I
live, let me tell you.
I was thinking as I said it, there'll be some people that won't know what that means.
If it was Memorex, I'd have been busting it up.
Yeah, we'd have broke glasses.
Oh my goodness. Woo-wee.
But within no more than weeks, but it probably a few days in, Amy said, I got to tell you that me and my daughters, we attract all the crazy people. We can be at the store and we'll find people that are hiding underneath displays and
Absolutely. Every cuckoo crazy comes out of the woodwork and seeks us out.
But not necessarily seeking out directly at you, just that they're to where you can see them. It's like, a magnetic force. She's there. The magnetic force pulls all of the crazies right to where we are. And
usually they'll pull them towards me and they'll want to strike up a conversation or have something to do with me.
Now Tanya is in here. She is a part of this.
Talk about cuckoo crazy. I mean,
well, no, I wasn't.
I love her.
We love her very much.
Absolutely do.
We were at Walmart yesterday and we seen a lady and her husband. Debbie Slayback has the same problem.
It's almost
a curse.
Yeah,
It's a curse.
absolutely.
But we were in Walmart and we didn't draw the cuckoo crazies to us. We just knew everybody that was there. And
crazy or not,
the first person we both knew, I went to high school with her. How did you meet her first? Through her husband?
No, I went to school with her sister, cousin, somebody
at Central.
And then they moved next door and lived next door for a while.
Bonnie did?
No, Brent did.
Oh,
and then
okay. Right. So we talked to them forever. We were like blocking traffic. I was like playing traffic cop. Pulling the cart out of the way. Amy, move over a little bit. They can't get through. So that was the first one. Before we were done talking to them, there walked up Tanya.
Absolutely.
The other people were relieved. They're like, oh, wow, we can get away from them now. Because we talked a long time. So then comes Tanya. And we talked to Tanya for a long time. She told us about her day that was not so good. And we told her stuff, and so we had a good long conversation and we parted and then we seen her again. And she says, I'm getting out of here. There's too much people stuff. Or something to that effect.
She said there's too many people in here.
People in it.
She had to get out of here.
So I'm thinking,
it's too people-y. She had to get out.
I'm thinking, well, we're going to be able to make some progress. within seconds after Tanya like raised her hand and was out of here, you know, she was kind of
Because
waving.
I called her the Grinch, and she's like,
Then she runs into a relative.
yeah, that I hadn't seen her talk to in years.
And so I said, I'll go ahead and get the rest of the groceries while you stand and talk to your cousin that you haven't seen for years. The lady probably thought I was rude. She
I
had,
don't even know that she knows who you were.
well, good. Then she didn't think I was rude. So we didn't draw the cuckoo crazies yesterday. We just, it took a little bit to get our Walmart shopping done.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I had to go back today and ran into more family.
Yes.
That's where we do our family reunions, is at Walmart.
I think everybody does their family reunions at Walmart.
Well, yeah, but some of us wear clothes and other ones wear pajamas.
Well, yeah, but sometimes it's family that wears pajamas too.
Well, we kind of avoid those.
So what's the latest at work? You still have a job?
Well, today, I guess I did Friday. No, I did. What day did I work? Wednesday when I left, I had a job.
So get this. The snowstorm, the second one, the one that we were traveling and it's happened. We spent an extra day. We took care of things. We did it the right way, as in we didn't push it through the storm. We waited it out.
All right.
Done something the way, you know, we prayed. People were encouraging us, just stay. Well, we found out we could have actually stayed one more day. Not really, because I had arranged to preach last Sunday at Old Union, that I had just taken one Sunday off. I could have gotten that taken care of had I known that her boss scheduled her off on Sunday. When did she find that? When did you find that out, dear?
When I went to work Sunday.
Oh, you mean you got dressed and rushed around a little bit, couldn't take me to the emergency room Sunday?
Yep.
And you didn't have to work?
No, got to work, and the other lead officer was there, and he said, "So what are you doing here?" And I said, "Working. What are you doing here?" And he said, "Well, they took you off the schedule because you put in for vacation." I said, "Not for today, I didn't." So yeah, they took me off the schedule and put me in for a vacation day on Sunday. They said, "You don't come back to work till Monday." And I said, "No, I come back tomorrow. Or today, I mean." And he said, "Nope, they got you off today." So I could have taken one more day at work, and I could have taken him to the VA. Nope, didn't work that way. I like how other people make my plans. Oh, man.
And she lost a vacation day.
Yeah, I had to lose a vacation day for nothing. All for naught.
Such is life, obviously.
There is Mary.
Oh, well, we won't talk about the guy with the macaroni and cheese in his beard then, because that makes her sick.
Yeah, well, it was gross. It was even more gross watching him try to eat it out of his beard.
Actually, we didn't see him eating it out of his beard. That we exaggerated that a little bit. It was just in his beard.
We watched him trying to lick it out of his beard.
Well,
I did. I don't know if you did, but I saw him trying to.
okay. Let's look at a couple of things that went on. Wanted to kind of make tonight lighthearted. I mean, Ronnie and I are going to hit things kind of hard the first of the week. I say that because we might be doing something Monday in addition to Tuesday, because
ruh-roh.
It's Inauguration Day.
Yay, whoop whoop.
let me see if I can. No, it's on my phone.
Doesn't he look handsome without that beard?
Well, ask, some of these people have seen the
He
pictures.
looks like such a little. I mean, he literally, when I saw that picture, I started to cry because it was like I had my baby boy. I mean, he was just like a little boy again. It was like, oh my goodness.
It was just
He-
a few days ago we had the discussion that I hate his beard.
He looks so good without it. I love it. I was so glad to see that picture. I'm like, oh my goodness, it looks amazing. So I was really proud of him.
Well, so we're not going to go deep into politics, but no, where did I send it to you on regular text? A person that I think we're both friends with this person. I really don't even know her that well, but her cousin had commented on or posted, and this lady had commented on the post. Mary, it's the post that you sent Amy, and I did actually that part of it. This lady posted two things back to back. One of them said, I'm not willing to lose friends over politics. Sounds fair. It sounds intelligent. Until the next post said, and it had the meme about I'm sick and tired of hearing people talk about the last 4 years and how bad it was and yada, yada, yada. Well, on that, she wrote, in no uncertain terms can I or will I support a sexist, misogynistic psychopath. Feel free to delete me or block me. Now remember, let's flash back about 30 seconds. She had posted, I am not willing to lose friends over politics. But basically what she's saying, if you support Donald Trump, feel free to delete or block me. I think that is the definition of TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. I think that is like the perfect definition. I couldn't believe it. It is so flippin' funny.
It's ridiculous. It's because she's talking out of both sides of her mouth. I'm not willing to lose friends, but it's just so stupid.
Unless you support the sexist, misogynistic sociopath, then I don't care if I lose you as a friend. You can block or delete me.
I just delete her for being stupid because you can't make up your mind.
And that's just mild of the way things are going to go in the next few days. There's the whole.
I just want to help people pack so they can move out of the country.
Bill and Tanya, here's your sign.
Absolutely.
There you go. Here's your sign.
Here's your sign. I'm just willing to help people pack so they can move out of the country. And what did Ronnie say tonight? That they were voluntarily deporting themselves because they know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You might as well do it now.
So, I mean, there's things that are going on that maybe not as deep as some of the other things, but the TikTok thing is a pretty big deal. Amy doesn't think so because she doesn't care if TikTok exists or doesn't exist.
I mean, really, big deal.
When you say the term social media, she's about that much interested.
If that.
But to young people, the TikTok issue is a big deal. Here is the latest on that. There was a law passed months ago that gave TikTok until January the 19th to either be sold to a non-Chinese company or they were going to ban them and shut them down. Well, tomorrow is January the 19th, and they've not been sold. Things got taken all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled that the law was a valid law and that they could.
It's a law.
It had to be signed, and yeah, it's a law. And so tomorrow's the deadline, and they are scheduled to be shut down. However, Donald Trump has said, now, when I say shut down, the law says that they are to do that, and that the app stores for Android and Apple won't be able to, let people download that app anymore. So then from that point, there would be a lawsuit that was filed either against TikTok or Apple or Android. It's all crazy stuff. I mean, legalities and all of this stuff. Trump wants to have input. I mean, he's into social media. He owns his own social media company, Truth Social. And so, I mean, there's rumors that Elon Musk is going to buy TikTok. Don't know. He hasn't bought it yet. But Trump has said, since he takes office Monday, that he is just going to instruct everybody to ignore things for Sunday. And on Monday, he will issue an executive order putting a 90-day extension in effect. And then he will be involved, or his people will be involved in what's going to happen with TikTok from that point forward. I mean, I know that probably everybody hearing my voice watches TikTok videos. You may not be into TikTok as itself, but we all watch TikTok videos because everybody shares them and things. So, and it just shows the difference in style between the old president and the new president. The old president, actually, I had a picture sent to me, and the article was talking about the people at TikTok were saying that Biden is basically the reason TikTok was going to be shut down, even though it was voted on by both House and Senate, passed not unanimously, but overwhelmingly, it passed, the law passed. But Biden, things just went on and nothing happened. Nothing. It's kind of like Joe Biden. Nothing happens, right? And if it does, you wish it wouldn't have happened.
Absolutely.
So he doesn't get things done, or at least when he does, it's not really what you would want. And Donald Trump gets things done. I don't know the latest as of a few minutes ago or the last few hours, but, there's a hostage deal in place in Israel with Hamas. We'll probably talk about that a lot on Tuesday. Many people don't think it's a very good deal for Israel. I understand both sides of the story, not the Hamas side, but the side of the Israelis who want a deal now and the Israelis who want to not have a deal now and totally wipe Hamas off the face of the planet, which is going to take more time than what we have right now. So, if it was my loved one that was held hostage, I'd want them doing everything possible to get my loved one back.
Absolutely.
But I also know that if there is one person left in Hamas, that one person will claim victory, that they whooped Israel, which is what's going to happen. They're going to claim victory. And this is, I don't know if we talked about this, but this kind of is California wildfire, Donald Trump entertainment related. President-elect Donald Trump has announced that he is appointing Sylvester Stallone, Mel Gibson, and Jon Voight, all three actors, all three conservatives, as special ambassadors to Hollywood. This move comes as part of Trump's initiative to revitalize the entertainment industry, which he described as a great but very troubled place, Hollywood. It's a great but very troubled place. And I think I agree with that. You know,
Absolutely.
there's a lot of good things about Hollywood, and there are a lot of things that are pretty messed up
Absolutely.
about Hollywood. You know, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is there are way more Christians in Hollywood than we know about, because they don't want to tell people that, because they might get blackballed.
Right.
You look at Kevin Sorbo. He got blackballed for being conservative, having Christian values. And so you understand somewhat of why people would not want to lose their jobs. But just as that's the case, I'm going to put a hold on this story because I read this today. John Rich from the country group Big and Rich, he is a huge conservative. He is a huge Trump supporter. And there's been a big deal made this last week. Carrie Underwood is going to sing at Trump's inauguration.
Oh.
In addition to many others, Snoop Dogg is going to sing at Trump's inauguration. But anyway, Carrie Underwood is going to sing, and she has taken a lot of flack.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Because she is willing to go and sing it, you know, that.
Well, libtards
Orange
are going to give her all kind of.
But you would think country music, you don't necessarily think libtard. But there are a lot of, you know, as in most things, the liberals are really, really loud, and so they're giving her a hard time. Well, John Rich from Big and Rich said how proud he was of Carrie for standing up for what she believes and not letting people tell her what she can and can't do and who she can and can't perform for. And that he said the same thing that I just mentioned about Hollywood. There are way more conservatives and Christians in Hollywood or in Nashville in country music,
Right.
that he wishes they would speak out too.
Absolutely.
So that's been a huge deal.
Well, a lot of them are afraid of the backlash and don't want to deal with it.
Right. And that's the biggest thing is people just don't want to deal with it. You know, they want to be able to do their job. I mean, whether or not they're rich, famous, they want to be able to do their job and go home or go to their tour bus or go to their motel room or whatever, and not have to, you know, pull up Google or X or any of those and say, are you kidding me? They're screaming and yelling because I'm going to sing at the inauguration, something that is one of the biggest things that a performer could ever get asked to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're talking about John Rich. He called everyone out who gave her grief, and country music is as bad as Hollywood.
And that doesn't surprise me at all.
Well,
that's just
pathetic.
Yeah, that's very pathetic.
So let's go back to the Trump and Sylvester Stallone, Mel Gibson, Jon Voight. Let's put this into a little bit of perspective. We're right in the midst of the fire issue out there, and Mel Gibson lost his home
Yeah,
in that.
sure did.
But in the midst of this was announced just a few days ago. These actors will serve as Trump's eyes and ears with the goal of bringing Hollywood back bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Does that not sound exactly like Trump would say? That is a quote. But bring Hollywood back bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Whether you like or hate Trump, you got to love the fact that he believes that something as monumental as Hollywood can be bigger, better, and stronger than ever.
Absolutely.
Knowing that, let's see, where did he say up here? He had just called it a great but very troubled place. You know, the optimism and that Trump put, you know, if liberals had a little blinder thing and was just able to look straight ahead and see what's happening and not who was involved in it happening, you know, I understand they hate Trump. I understand that he's never going to do anything that pleases them, but just look at results. You know, put that blinder on and say, he believes that he can have Hollywood to be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before.
Right.
Wouldn't that be good? If you love Hollywood, wouldn't that be great?
Yep.
If it was bigger, better, and stronger than ever before? Well, that's because you say that because he wants to make it conservative. He didn't say anything about making it conservative. He wants to wipe out the woke part. You know, get that DEI out of everything. DEI fell apart so fast. Well, actually, when companies started losing money,
Right.
big money, not just money, but big money, then DEI kind of went by the wayside. Well, and the kicker was Trump winning.
Right. That didn't make anybody happy there.
No.
Too bad for them.
Yeah, John Voight is a well-known Christian that he has kind of been blackballed as well. Let me see if I read the rest of the story. Their roles, being Stallone, Gibson, and Voight, as special envoys, are aimed at reversing the trend of Hollywood moving to foreign countries. Trump's announcement was made on Truth Social, and the appointment has been reported across various media outlets, including Variety, which is a huge entertainment outlet, Forbes, Politico, and The Hollywood Reporter. So, you know, one of the things I like about the way Trump has approached his second term is that it's not just business as usual. At least on an official, and this isn't official, but on a recognized basis, no president has ever had people that were being special ambassador. You know, I'm sure that they've had people that, but just like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy doing the, you know, checking to make all the government waste and everything. That's not business as usual for Washington, D.C. And I think that's a great thing. Business as usual sucks. We've complained about business as usual forever and ever. So again, whether you like Trump or you hate Trump, let's just look at results. Don't you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, you let me talk all that time. What?
Well, because you know what you're talking about.
And don't give me a big head.
It couldn't be any bigger.
Wait a second. See, now, this banter, is kind of like what we do when we're sitting here and we're watching a police show, and there's somebody that says and does something really stupid on the show. And we look at well, first of all, we look at each other a lot of times and we don't even have to say anything. That's what happened with the guy with the macaroni in the beard. We just caught eyes and we both knew that the other one had seen the same thing. But
sometimes we'll look at each other and go, "You think I'm stupid?"
There's a story with that
Yeah.
one too. There's a people watching story with
Yeah.
that one too. And you got to force me into doing you can't make this up.
I can't force you to do nothing.
You got to motivate me. Ed, don't forget. Ed, get this done. Ed.
And then he calls me. Well, he tells me all I do is nag. I was going to say you call me but that wouldn't have come out right.
Probably not. Because I don't call you that. Either that or we're not thinking the same thing, which is very rare.
Oh, that's true. But we're probably thinking the same thing.
We think alike so much that it's almost scary.
Yeah, it is almost scary.
I'm-
Well, my son said it earlier.
But
What Steve put on his bracelet? My boys. Oh my goodness. I got my boys' bracelets, which sounds kind of goofy, but they're a man's bracelet, but it has like the figure 8 knot, like it's a eternity knot. And it talked about a mother and son's love and how, I mean, it was specifically from me and I put it on there. And I said, now, did you see who that was from? And Ronnie, being the clown he is, he said, yeah, Steve. We don't know anybody named Steve, but he was being a smart aleck and yeah, Steve.
And Robert picked up on it.
And he did.
And then they got to the point where Ava, 5 years old,
yeah,
was somehow it got Santa, on to Ronnie from Mama, Steve. Ava's associated with from Santa, and she said, Santa's not Steve.
His name is not Steve, it's Santa.
So
he didn't change his name. It's not Santa. It's not Steve. It's Santa.
she's about to get worked up.
Oh yeah,
I think she was about to go.
Oh, she had just such a good time.
She is so cute.
Oh my goodness.
Well, let me open the prayer list. I am so far behind on this.
Duh. I'm supposed to nag you about that too.
I didn't say anything about nagging. There's an unspoken request that is new. That was a pray for Mike Rothrock, which I believe is Marty's uncle. What are you wanting to say, dear? Go ahead.
No, keep going.
She's dying.
I am dying. I was born dying.
Dying to say what she wants to say. Not like I'm getting ready to kill her or nothing. More like she may be ready to kill me, but and she's smiling about it. Look at that. That is so much guilt right there.
I am not guilty of nothing.
She wants to kill me. And look at that face. Look at the grin on her face.
Is that a Gary Coon face?
No, his was, yours is more mischievous than what his was.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Ever, never.
Let me just read all down through. Amy Keller, Danelle Heck, she started in with new treatment plan today. I seen, and I didn't write it on here, but Jay Darnell is in treatment 6 of this round. And so he's on our list. Marlene, Allison, Annie, Aaron Anderson, my Aunt Pat. We talked earlier, she is where we went after we left Daytona. We went to where she lives, and Aunt Pat loves Big Red. And where she lives in Alabama, they can't get Big Red. So we took Big Red with us to drop off for her. You still got that grin on your face.
I'm a happy person.
Yes, well, you are happy. You've seen your kids. Well, there's an update. Curtis made it through surgery, but has been pretty loopy, so I haven't been able to talk much to him. Bill and Tanya said Aaron is home now. But Aunt Pat, she's been fighting cancer for several years, and her cancer is back, and she's right at 80, somewhere around there, and she's fighting hard. I mean, she agreed to do more treatments, and when we got there to take her Big Red, she had had a treatment a day or two before, and that's causing her to have an extended stay in the hospital. I think probably is one of those where she's just going to stay in the hospital the entire length of time she's having treatments. So we still came across, normally we would go up through Atlanta and Chattanooga and that way, but we cut across and came up 65 through Alabama, and we dropped her Big Red off, and she thanked me online today. And you can do some little stuff that makes people happy. Why don't you text me with what you want to say?
I don't want to say anything except it's freezing in here.
Okay. Lee's out of the hospital and back at rehab.
Yay.
I got some good news here coming up. Bobby Howell, Bobby McNicholas, Bobby Quick, Brent Wallace. That is Amber Fleming's brother. We've been praying for Brent for a long time. Let's see what it says here. Well, he had tonsil cancer. Notice I said had. Brent Wallace had a PET scan done, and it shows that there is no cancer in his body.
Yes.
Got cold chills when she told us that Thursday night. Oh,
yeah.
My goodness. And we didn't even talk about that. We had our Bible study, and we talked about share a meal. Well, we talked about things that just not like our normal prayer list,
right.
Different things. And so we had a good time in prayer and thinking and looking at different aspects of ministry. We talked about share a meal, and we've got some interesting things that we're going to propose to everybody. And I think I can go out on a limb and say we're going to do them because it's all good stuff. And so hearing the prayer, not the prayer request, but the praise. And one of the things I'm going to do with our prayer list for prayer and share is include a specific part of the prayer list that is for praises, because we got to make sure that we let people know that God is on the move and God does the things that he does, and people need to know it's him. Casey Pearson, Charisse, Cindy Crace, Claudine Gillis, Denise, Donna and family, Hendricks, the hurricane relief areas, Jason Ray Welch, told him this week we were still praying for him. Jay Darnell, we mentioned, Jeannie Thurman Lucas, and I don't remember what that one was for.
She has cancer.
Okay.
Needs a lot of prayer.
Jill Garris, John, Jordan, Judy, Julia, um, Kaylee, Lee, not Lee Taylor, but Lee Mathis. And he is a younger man. He's not, it's Ernie's son, for those of you who know Ernie.
Oh, pray for Ernie. He bought a sled.
I told him all about it last night. And he's 82.
And everything in him is hardware. Hips are fake, his shoulders are fake, the man's had everything replaced that can be replaceable.
Now, I outed him. He told Rob that Rob thought that Toinette's eye appointment was in Indianapolis. Said, no, it wasn't, because we seen Ernie at Toinette's appointment at Dr. Pancrat's here in Columbus. But he had been out of town at his property in Jennings County.
Sledding.
He bought a sled that he said cost more than his first car cost.
Yeah.
And he had spent the morning sledding. 82 years
82.
old. With he's got more metal in him, than the song One Piece at a Time, and it didn't cost me a dime. Yeah.
He's like the Bionic Man.
And he was out sledding yesterday.
Yeah.
But Lee is his son, and he has been in rehab from a stroke for probably at least 2 months and maybe longer.
Yeah.
Lee Taylor, we talked about him. Linda Kuhn, we talked about her a lot tonight with the family. And actually there was gifts that Linda had actually made. She didn't know she was making them for Christmas gifts, but she made them. And Amy made sure that she gave them to what would be Linda's great-grandchildren, and so that they had something from their great-grandma. Loretta Stanley, we haven't talked to her in a couple of weeks. She has cancer now.
Yeah.
Marvin Wright, Mary Bailey and family, Mary Ann Cunningham, Mason, Melissa Beerline, Melissa White, Michelle, Nadine, Travis, Praying Boy Preston, Patty, Penny, Randy Burton, Rick Cope, Rob Gaskell, Shay Michaelonis, Steve Stepp, Sue Foley, Tony, Tyler, Unspoken and Unspoken, Victor Jr., Victor Marks, Yvonne Hudson. Go back up here and get all of the group ones, praying for the church, our country, and our elected officials. We include with that this change of power in the country. Fortunately, we live in a country where that goes the way it does, and we just pray for safety for everybody. I know Cisco, who stops in here every once in a while, he texted me today, and he was in Pennsylvania on his way to the inauguration.
Oh, wow.
However, this horrible cold snap that is supposed to start here tomorrow, and it's headed to the East Coast, they have moved the inauguration inside. So there will be much, much, much less people be able to actually witness it. But they all are also opening up the basketball arena in DC to live stream it there. Of course, it'll be live streamed to the whole world. But our country, COVID, the reason we started Prayer and Share, the persecuted church, our pastors and ministry leaders around the world, pray for Israel, pray for the peace of Jerusalem, our law enforcement leaders, Thin Blue Line, first responders, military, all those that protect and serve. Oh, and man, you've talked so much tonight. It's almost 9:30.
Love you too.
Father God in heaven, we come to you just now and we thank you for the great day that we've had. Thank you that we've had the opportunity to enjoy family. Now we're on here with our family here and our friends here. Father, thank you for the ministry that you allow us to do, the ministry that you allow us to be a part of. And Father, we have a long prayer list, and I know it's incomplete, and I just ask that you would be with those that need a healing hand, that you would be with those that need miracles, those that have diseases that the only way that they're going to make it, Father, is through a miracle through you. We thank you for praises like Brent Wallace and his being cured of cancer. No sign of cancer in his body. Thank you, Father. Father, I pray that with this being Saturday night, that those that are listening will make the decision to be a part of a church tomorrow. They need the church, and their church needs them. So, Father, please help us to know that your word tells us that we're not to forsake the assembling together like many will in the last days. Help us not to be part of that crowd. Not that they're bad, but your word for a reason says not to forsake the assembling together. Thank you for my wife, and I thank you for her side of the family, the wonderful time that we had tonight. Thank you for your love, your goodness, and your mercy. I pray blessings upon all parts of our ministry. I pray that tomorrow that souls will be won for Christ. If we're still here when church gets here tomorrow, Father, I pray that there will be souls won. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Well, you got anything you'd like to say? Since
No.
you're all talked out?
Nope, I'm good.
See, actually, on Tuesdays, I don't have to talk as much because Ronnie talks more than you do.
He does a wonderful job.
Ronnie is doing great.
He is
And
doing wonderful.
I mean, if you were late coming in, this was my birthday or my Christmas present from Ronnie. It is a map of the United States in red and blue, which is the red states that Trump won and the blue states that Harris won. Notice there's a whole lot more red on here than blue. And we started red, white, and true election night. And this is what came out of election night.
Absolutely.
And red, white, and true. Tell everybody good night.
Good night, everybody.
We love you guys. And we miss when we can't do this on the right schedule because we know that there were probably people that would have been here last night that couldn't be here tonight.
Right.
So we love you and we love what we do with you, and we just do. Say good night, Amy.
Good night, Amy.
Hope to see you in church tomorrow. And until we see you again, go out and do
The right thing.